Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Side note, did you know that NASA was asked by the US government to create a time zones on the moon? So guess what? We will have Eastern time, Pacific, Mountain time, Central time, except for Alaska and Hawaii. And then they'll have Eastern and Western time. Isn't this exciting? And then instead of just adding 5 hours here or 12 hours there, people can add even more time. I wonder if they'll make parts of the moon equal to what's going on in Earth and our time zone. And then we can have daylight savings time for the fall and spring equinox on the moon if they have equinoxes up there. Welcome to Unlocking Your Podcasting Potential. Empower your voice. Yeah, I thought I changed it around for a change. Keep you on your toes. Sponsored by Passionate World Talk Radio Network. Educate, enlighten, entertain with your host, me, Lillian S. Caldwell, CEO / Pres of Global Media Network, LLC. Today we're going to be speaking about podcast topics. And I get questions from our listening audience saying, well, Lillian, how do we choose a topic? And I'll say, well, the first thing you need to do if you're on social media at all is to put out a survey asking them what they would like to hear from you. Do they have any interests? What do they want to learn? What they need to get guidance on? Because to tell you frankly, you need to have a topic that will be attractive to your potential listening audience. Yes, if you're an expert on something, you may want to put out, I'm an expert on how to write a book in 6 hours or how to pass your exams without really studying. But the point of the matter is, if your content is not well received, then you're in for a problem. And the opinion then, well, if you keep on doing it long enough, people will get used to hearing it and tune in. And folks, that's not really true. The competition for podcast topics are in the zillions now. Everybody, including their mother or father or aunt or uncle or grandfather or grandmother, I'm a grandmother, who's doing podcasting. But I've been podcasting for 19 years, so I'm not the newest kid on the block. However, another way is everyone has followers or friends on Facebook or Twitter or on YouTube or on LinkedIn. You have their emails, put together a survey and send it out and see what they are generally interested in wanting to hear or requiring information or how to do something or how to solve something. There's certainly a lot of unanswered questions out there that you can probably fill the gap for. Don't do a sports podcast because everybody's doing sports podcasts and everybody likes sports. Because the problem is that in the fields of podcasting now, it's gotten to be a very overcrowded field. Now, you may want to be like Howard Stern and shake up the audience, but make sure you have something to shake them up about. Just don't want to give yourself permission to curse because there are other ways of doing it. Trust me. So, you need to go over to Google and find out, I guess, first, what are the popular topics to represent and present on your podcast. And then, as I explained before, you've got to niche it down because some of these fields are so broad that you won't be able to cover everything. However, I believe that your podcast, like anything else, if you're passionate about it, should come from your heart and also from your brain. So take a good look around the world. There are lots of things going on that podcasters are not addressing them fully. You want a suggestion? Go and take a look at the stories that were presented on the news a week, 2 weeks, or even 2 months ago, and then take a look at it currently. And if it isn't being reinforced or is not being reinstated every couple of months, maybe that's the topic you should present, and maybe do a test to see whether or not people would be interested in pursuing that particular topic. But you won't know unless you try. And you won't try unless there's some kind of motivation for you. So hold a carrot in front of your head so it always dangles just outside of your reach, and then go for it. I want to thank you for joining me today. Yes, short tip, but I'm not going to pound it to death. Basically, it's research. Basically, it's finding out what your audience wants to listen to, and then go and find your information. Another tip, you don't have to do everything via the internet. Go to the libraries. They're still open. They still carry magazines, newspapers, newsletters, out-of-date books. Go and take a look. See what the world is offering. You don't always have to do what's appealing just in the United States. There's a whole universe out there. Space Station listens. The aliens, I'm sure, listen. So go and try to make your topic appealing to just about everybody, because the United States doesn't make up the whole world. There's a whole other civilizations out there in South America and in Europe and Asia, and even on the space station. And there were people who lived underwater for 5 or 6 months. So you want to make yourself available to everybody who has a digital device to listen to you. So once again, I'm thanking you for coming in and sharing your time with me. Do not forget, on April 19th, Vicki Esther Chang, who started the series The Golden Nuggets and invited people on to be co-authors, and I'm one of them, Lillian Caldwell, The Golden Nuggets, Digital Strategies for a Digital Technology. Go over to Amazon, look her up, Vicki Esther Chang, find the book, go over to the page, buy it, buy the workbook. And then if you're still interested or still want to become involved in podcasting, holler 484-364-1032, name, email, phone number, good time to call. I'm interested in additional training for podcasting. Or use email pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com. The difference with my courses is it's interactive. First 20 minutes, yes, I explain and show you things. Last 15 minutes, you have to put it into practice, stand up, and let it out. Otherwise, you won't really learn it. Show and tell. I show you, you tell me back in return. You can hear this and view this all over again at youtube.com/PWR Network, PW Talk Radio. Facebook.com/Passionate World Radio. Educate.passionateworldtalkradio.com/masterclass. PassionateWorldTalkRadio.com/blog. Come and join us. Ask your questions in email or text. Sign up for our training. You won't regret it. Money well invested. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun.